Hello humans, Master Dinner Flex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today we will be going over some new Infernoid cards revealed yesterday or the day before, one of the two. And these cards were absolutely insane. We're talking like a new fusion, a new link, and two new spells. The one that really puts it over the edge is the new fusion, but we're going to demonstrate it in quite a few ways. Now, I've also been looking at what other people have been doing with their idea of Infernoid, and the one that I'm really hesitant on is the Dark World version, because it seems in that version you're just playing with all the weaknesses of Dark World without much of any of its strengths. So I didn't really like that one that much. And in addition, it just got a lot of clutter. But this gave me an idea to test around some, well, ideas for Infernoid myself. So let's get into it. For this combo, there's going to be multiple demonstrations, but what I'm going to show off is like one or two combos I'm thinking of. So for this combo, what you need is Orphis Scorpio, or any way to it, and an Infernoid that is at least level 4, I think. So we're going to normal Scorpio, discard this, and that will allow us to special summon Darling Cobra, which of course will get the card that should be banned but yet still isn't, Instant Fusion. Now, we are going to activate Instant Fusion, pay 1,000 life points, and this is where we get to summon the new busted-ass fusion. So, it requires 2 Infernoid monsters, but you can also just Instant Fusion out. However, there's something you should know about it. So, if this card is fusion summoned, you can banish 1 Infernoid monster from your graveyard, send Infernoid monsters with different names from each other from your deck to the graveyard equal to the banished monster's level. So you can't just instant fusion it and foolish a bunch of guys. You actually need the setup, which is why I was saying you need to have at least a level 4, which I think in some scenarios it's actually just 3. So we are going to dump Decatron, 2 of the little guys, and then a Tondel I think will work. So just a Tondel. Next, we are going to link these 2 plants off into Aromaseraphy Jasmine. So, we contribute 1 monster this card points to, special summon a plant from our deck, and we are going to special summon Cattycorn. So, Chainlink 1 will be Cattycorn to search a field spell, but Chainlink 2 will be Infernoid Evil. When it's sent from, if it's sent to the graveyard or banished, you can add 1 Void Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. So, we will add a field spell and a Void Spell or Trap, so we will add Banishment and Lair of Darkness. So, hey, look at that. The entire Infernoid win condition, just right there. Next, we are going to go ahead and let's start by banishing 2 to special summon a Tondel. This will be banished. And then we are going to make Muckraker. Next, we are going to activate Lair of Darkness. Now we are going to activate Muckraker, discard a random card, special summon Decatron, and Decatron will, of course, send a Deviati. Next, we are going to activate Void Banishment, discard a card, and we are just going to add a Void Spell or Trap, and that will be Void Feast. The cool thing about this is we can only special summon and normal summon Infernoid monsters for the rest of the turn, but this is the rest of our turn, so now we'll just set 1 and pass. And what is this setup? Well, we have Void Feast, which is going to summon out all of these, which will be 2 Decatron, if I can find them. This deck is full of clutter right now, as you can tell. And if they try to Ash, you just have Deviati already online, and then dump these 2. So we have 2 monster negates, Spell and Trap negate, Lair of Darkness face up, and a lot of resources in the graveyard, as you can see. So, this is what I like about this. This is one of the 2 setups you can do with this package, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. This is quite a lot for not a lot, being truthfully honest. But that's why I think this new support is really cool, and honestly why I'm trying to consider how do I get to this card as fast as possible. And this is one of a few ways. But let's go back to this setup earlier so I can demonstrate something else. Now, you'll remember these 2. But this time we're going to take a different approach. We are going to Instant Fusion out Evil again, banish this, and get our 4 monsters in the graveyard. And it will be Cytimus, Armadic, this, and a Decatron, specifically a Decatron. Next, we have level 7 on board, which actually allows us to special summon an Infernoid because we don't have all the levels required. We're going to banish 2, but one of them needs to be Decatron. Next, we are going to overlay these 2 into Livier the Sea Dragon, detach and revive the Decatron, which of course we will send a where is it? A Tundel. Now this makes this card level 9 with a level 1, which of course will make Baron, and then in addition we will get to a Void Spell or Trap, which will be Void Banishment. Next we will activate it. Then we will link these 2 off into Muckraker, discard a random card, special summon the Decatron, which of course will dump a Deviati again, and then we will Vanishment, discard another card, and we will get Void Feast. So this time we have an Omni Negate, 2 Monster Negates, and a Spell and Trap Negate. But similar to this, it puts a Monster Negate, it puts up multiple Negates to make sure nothing interacts with Feast. And that's what I really like about this setup, regardless of searching Lair or whatnot. The fact that you're putting up a card that negates the Ash Blossom for the Feast means the Feast is going to resolve, and because of that, there's just so much setup going on. Especially, we're only discarding the level 4, which is not a lot of value. But if we have higher levels, this graveyard is just going to be dumped filled with monsters, so you could extend from there. But now that we got this demonstration out of the way, there's one other demonstration I want to show off to kind of give you an idea of where my head is at, where I want to turbo out this new fusion as much as possible. Now, this one is pretty strange, as you can see. So, this hand, prior to the Hero Lives, is the full combo, because this card, you might not realize it, is just a fusion spell. Not only can it like reduce all the levels so you can just spam Infernoids, it's also a fusion spell if you send it to the grave, and not just a Shaddoll fusion, but you can actually just hard fuse with it if you want to. But because of that, there's like a very in-engine way to fusion summon, but that's still not a lot. As funny as that sounds, that's still not very many ways to get to a fusion spell, because if you use Vanishment, you can't get the evil off the field with like Link Karibo, so searching it is pretty limited on how you want to use it. So now we kind of have to think, how do we want to use this in ways that's just like a hard fusion that you don't have to search, and that would just be like regular polymerization or alternative fusion spells like what you saw with Dark Worlds. However, I took a different approach, as you can see. So let's say we don't have a fusion spell. So we have 2 of the Infernoids for the fusion, so we will go a Hero Lives, pay half our life, and special summon Stratos. Stratos, on normal or special, can search any hero monster, including a evil hero, which of course we will use to search a Justice Gold, which we can just discard it to search Dark Fusion, or any, I believe, spell or card that searches it, which is a lot. But we're just going to search the OG Dark Fusion. This card lets you special summon any Fiend Fusion monsters using monsters from your field, just Poly. But your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn, meaning when we go ahead and Fusion summon, our evil will be immune to Imperm Valor. So we can go ahead and banish the 8 and dump 8 monsters, link these off, and just combo, combo, combo. So we are good there, but let's go back a step. And let's say, instead of us needing a fusion spell, we have a fusion spell that is this, Void Imagination, but we're down an Infernoid monster. Well, this is where Hero Lives can come up again, where we are going to go ahead and pay, and we are going to summon, instead of Stratos, which technically you can get to Stratos, search Prisma. You can technically do this, and we'll normal summon Prisma, and with this, we will go ahead and reveal Tierra, which lists Anomku and Deviati, or however that's pronounced. So basically, this becomes an Infernoid monster by foolishing an Infernoid monster from your deck, which is hilarious. So now, we can just fusion summon for Infernoid Evil. So not only can Hero Lives be the fusion spell, but it can also be a fusion material if you're down Infernoids, which is actually really cool. Honestly, a pretty solid setup, because then you can just link these away and have the exact same situation I was talking about earlier. So, like, this is in a good spot for this. I like this engine a lot. I'm not entirely sure how productive it would be, but I think it's a really solid start. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Infernoid support's pretty nice. How would I go about making a deck list? That I'm still unsure of. I'm not particularly a fan of the Dark World one. I noticed a lot of flaws in it. So I'm just testing out a lot of raw ideas, putting them on paper and see how well they can function. But yep, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. And remember, Master Dinner Flags will take your soul.